Welcome to the Start Something Show. Join world-renowned experts, change agents, and everyday folks who have done the amazing. All here to help you start something incredible. Now it's time to step out, live your perfect day, and create a legacy with your host, Tina Dietz.
Hey Superstarters, it's Tina Dietz here on the Start Something Show. Are you getting down, getting funky with your bad selves today? Yeah, we're getting funky. We're getting funky. Yes, we are. Well, we're also going to be talking with Marbeth Dunn today, the Joy to Abundance Strategist. I would like more joy and abundance. So we had a phenomenal talk, and we're going to get a little bit into the esoterics today about money as energy, the whole concept of raising your vibration. We are delving into the woo, but making it practical today because joy and because abundance, because we like that. It's good. And also kind of a fascinating story about Marbeth living in Haiti for 17 years and going through 7 coups d'etat while she was living there. Coup d'etats, I don't even know what the plural of that would be, but it wasn't good. So we're going to hear a little bit more about her story living in Haiti, and also how she's paying it forward to the Haitian people now, several years after, actually 5 years after, that horrible disaster in Haiti. Some information you're going to want to know about that, because it has to do with the donation money that, guess what, you guys gave and where it went. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I have a confidence booster tip for you today. This has been coming up a lot. Folks who have great ideas, great drive, great knowledge, but yet not sure if they want to pull the trigger on something, having trouble hitting the send button on proposals, having difficulty deciding which direction to go in. And you know what? This is a confidence issue, and confidence is a muscle just like anything else. So today I want to share with you one of my favorite confidence boosters. Now, is this original? No, it is not. I'm feeding you great information from great people. I want you to go to TED Talks, and I want you to look up Amy Cuddy, Cuddy. She is a researcher at Harvard, and they do all kinds of research on confidence and leadership. And one of the things that they have discovered in their research is that not only can you fake it till you make it, you can fake it till you become it. And this is especially true in the case of confidence. So if you're like me and you grew up in the era of Wonder Woman, and you tried to, spin around and become Wonder Woman when you were a kid, like I did, you know that Wonder Woman has a particular stance with your legs kind of apart and your hands, your fists on your hips. Well, guess what? That is something called a power pose. And there's a number of these power poses, but this is the one that's easiest to describe on the radio. So that's the one I'm telling you. If you stand for 2 minutes in this Wonder Woman power pose, whether you are a man or a woman, you will increase your level of testosterone and you will decrease your levels of cortisol, which are hormones in the body, of course. Testosterone, don't worry, ladies, this won't make you grow any hair on your chest, helps with your feelings of assertiveness, also helps with your confidence levels, both your own and how you are perceived. Cortisol, on the other hand, is a stress hormone. We want less of it. We want less of it in our bodies. So 2 minutes with this power pose decreases the stress hormone cortisol and increases testosterone to give you a little bit of a confidence boost that is good for you and also good for the people who are perceiving you. I like to do this before I walk into a networking room or onto a stage, or, if I'm having a crappy day, I even do it before I record a show or meet with a client, just to create that mental shift and also to create that physiological shift in boosting confidence. So you can check out other power poses, go to TED Talks, go find, or just Google Amy Cuddy, Cuddy, power poses, and check out how to increase and boost up your confidence in just 2 minutes. There's my tip of the day for you guys. And don't forget, you can head over to thestartsomethingshow.com and sign up to be a super starter. Our free membership is including all kinds of fabulous content like this to help you be better, just better. Better at coping with life, better at transitioning to new levels in your business, better at creating change and transition. It's not just me. It's all of our experts contributing to things like our Hall of Wisdom article depository, the Perfect Day exercise or the Perfect Day planner kit, the couple of ebooks that I give away for you that are full of amazing tools like how to solve any problem in 10 minutes. No, I am not kidding. And the 5 keys to unlock your Oasis-based business. Yes, all of this is part of the free membership. It's good stuff, and we're adding content all the time. So scoot over, thestartsomethingshow.com, check it out, become a free member, and now on to the interview. Today on the Start Something Show, we have Marbeth Dunn. Marbeth is known as the Joy to Abundance Strategist, and she's the founder of the Spiritual Wealth Activation System and the best-selling co-author of Start Right Marketing and Conversations That Make a Difference, Shift Your Beliefs. She's also the past president and founder of the Greater Miami Holistic Chamber of Commerce, the host of Having It All, which has been a podcast and an upcoming TV show. Her inspiring work has been featured all over the place, including on Fox, NBC, CBS, and the CW in San Diego. She's been a regular guest on Good Morning Florida Keys. You can check out Marbeth and her work and connect with her at yourjoyjourney.com. Marbeth, thank you so much for starting something with me today.
Thanks so much for having me, Tina.
Yeah, it's great to have you on here. Well, I know you have some very cool pieces of your story. I was just so surprised to hear, your history and your journey. And I was wondering if you would share a little bit today with our super starters. What made you decide to shift your life and start something new?
Well, I've had 4 different careers. It seems like every decade I shift into something new. It seems to be what we do now. And my last one had been selling ancient artifacts on the internet. And I loved it. I've been a jewelry designer. I've been a painter. And after I left my former husband, I delved into personal growth and development. And I was learning all different kinds of empowerment techniques and energy healing, and I even became a Kundalini yoga instructor. And in the process, I opened an office. I was a Reiki master and I guess a master of other healing modalities and techniques. And so I opened a brick and mortar office, and in the process, I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could lead workshops all over the world and be paid for it? Well, that sounded so good to me that I immediately booked a hotel in Hawaii, and then I booked one in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now, what I didn't know was that you needed to have a list. People were not going to show up spontaneously.
Just kind of out of the ether. Yes, exactly.
They don't do that. So that was my first introduction to why you need to market.
Exactly, yeah. The law of attraction only works if you're actually doing things to attract people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, you also spent a lot of years in Haiti, isn't that right?
It is, yes. I spent about 17 years in Haiti. I was a painter, and I painted portraits, murals. I made limited edition prints and note cards and stationery. And they were vignettes of Haitian life. In fact, if you go anywhere in the Caribbean, you'll see watercolors that are basically black people, silhouetted almost with bright clothes. And I was the originator of that style in the Caribbean.
That style. Oh, how interesting.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And you raised a family there as well, didn't you?
I raised my kids. My daughters were 10 and 3 when we left Haiti. and have a lot of wonderful memories. It's where I had a huge spiritual awakening, and which is what I base my spiritual wealth activation system on, all of the steps that I was able to finally put together and realize, oh my goodness, look how amazing this is. Like, this is an actual system on connecting to a higher dimension where you can actually ride the coattails of spirit, and your life works. It's a little different than the law of attraction, but it's like you've risen above it, and you're totally guided by spirit, and all of your needs are met. It's a really amazing state. So I've created a system about it, and it all began in Haiti.
Wow, it's evolved over these years. Now, not everyone, as a matter of fact, a lot of people would not put wealth and spirituality, or money and spirituality, into the same world. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of cultural context that we have that says, if you are spiritual, you must be poor, you must be in poverty. You know, if you look at, monks with begging bowls, or, priests living in poverty or whatever. So what do you think the shift has been, or the shift that has been emerging, where now, spirituality and wealth can live in the same space?
It's just reframing the idea that we don't need to be poor. I believe originally, there's certain religions where wealth is not detrimental to spirit. For example, in Judaism, never felt that you needed to humble yourself. It was they tithe 10%, which happens to be a wealth building tool. And it was never anything that was a negative. In Christianity, it was like, sort of humbling of the poor, and it doesn't necessarily need to be that way, because money is just energy. And when you have wealth, when you have money, there's amazing things that you can do to be of service to others. And so I find that if you reframe your values and look at wealth as an ability to share service with other people. For example, if you're poor and you are looking for others to support you, how can you help how can you provide for other people? Whereas if you have been able to use the energy of wealth to create more wealth for yourself. And it's not something that you would do at the expense of other people, but you're allowing that abundance mentality. You're allowing abundance to flow to you, the prosperity to flow to you. And then you have that natural capacity to be able to help other people freely and easily. So I think it's just a reframing and just a shift in the way that you look at it.
So you said that this is your system, the spiritual wealth activation system, has some distinctions from the law of attraction. Let's delve into that a little bit.
It's a little different because it's more about connecting with source. Now, the law of attraction, yes, you want to create a particular vibration to attract what you desire. Birds of a feather flock together. In the spiritual wealth activation system, you are connecting to source. You are, through what I call the master teacher. People might call him the Holy Spirit or the Ruach HaKodesh, in different, different religions. And basically it's that connector to source that we can use to get there. And when you partner with the Holy Spirit or the master teacher, then you are moving towards a higher dimension. And in the process, you are reframing how you see everything in your life. For example, you release judgment, and you use forgiveness as a tool to let go of the issues that no longer serve you. So you move more into a unified field of consciousness, as opposed to a polarized field where you are constantly looking at me and them, judging them or judging yourself and comparing. And so either of these is going to create separation, but you're moving into a more unified field. And so it actually takes you to a higher vibrational frequency than the law of attraction does, because you're looking only to match vibrations. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, we're speaking very much in a theoretical, very energetically speaking. A lot of these, terms and everything when we talk about, using energy and using vibration to attract something like wealth, that yes is energy, but at the same time is something that we use practically, or money that we use practically on a daily basis. So how do you take this from this theoretical space into the practical for somebody who is, say, starting a business, moving, trying to move things forward and move through difficulty when they're worried about, where their next paycheck is going to be coming from so that they can, feed their family? How do we, kind of bridge that gap?
Okay. Well, first of all, you're not going to jump into, a whole new belief system. It's something that you need to work on. It's actually a way of retraining your mind. So rather than, just suddenly making yourself completely dependent on spirit and saying, okay, you take care of this, doesn't quite work like that.
Good. I'm glad to hear you say that.
You need to do some work. So for example, you need to look at, where am I charged in my life? What do I have? Am I holding anger? Am I holding old issues from the past that need to be released? So you want to look at that, and then you don't have to do it yourself. That's the fun part. You can always ask, help me see this a different way. So now you're moving into a new paradigm where you are open to seeing things differently. How can I look at this from a loving place? How can I see this in a different way? How can I see money in a different way? Because truthfully, everything has a consciousness. I know that sounds a little woo-woo in this venue, but truthfully, everything does have a consciousness. Money is just energy, and you have a relationship with money, whether you feel a lack of it or whether you feel abundant. There is a relationship happening there that you want to cultivate. And so you have the consciousness of money, and you have your consciousness. So you want to be able to see it through the eyes of love, and to be able to shift from feeling a sense of lack to knowing that you're going to be covered. Now, that's not going to happen instantly. You're going to need to take specific steps to shift your belief system, because if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen.
So where in your own journey, I'd love to hear, the stories from people's lives. You had mentioned something you had to kind of come back from, which was, booking rooms for destination training without having a following, which is a fabulous lesson to pass on to people. Thank you for sharing that. But what about on the triumph end of things? Where have you found in your journey, as in your careers, in the multiple careers that you have, and in the way that you've shaped your professional life, helping other people, that this has come into play for you in a very real way?
I'm going to give you an example of something that happened to me in Haiti, which was so profound. I weathered 7 coups d'etats in Haiti. I was there when Baby Doc Duvalier was ousted. And after he was ousted, there were 6 other coups d'etats. And I had an art business. I sold my paintings in galleries. I did murals at hotels, and I had note cards and stationery, and I had a business. And it was able to sustain our family. However, when you have a political upheaval, there are no tourists in Haiti. And I had
very true.
A tourist-based business. And so I was very deeply connected with Source at that time. And so I didn't even, it was like the lack of income was not an issue. I felt as though I was completely covered. Now, it took a while to get there, but I was so connected that it wasn't an issue that there were no tourists. It wasn't an issue that my shops were not functioning at all. And I had, people on my staff that I needed to pay. It was not an issue. And we had gone, my ex-husband and I had gone through because of this system, we had gone through a complete resurgence in our relationship where we had reaffirmed our marriage vows. Now, we had had an incredibly difficult relationship. Everything shifted, and all of the past was released, and we moved into a new place. And a friend of mine, now you're going to find this hard to believe, my friend handed me her credit card. And we didn't have a credit card in Haiti at this point. She handed us her credit card. She handed us a catalog to the Omega Institute in upstate New York.
One of my favorite places. Yeah.
I know. And she said, here, book yourself something spiritual. Do something wonderful for yourselves to celebrate your reconnection. So we took her credit card. I never once thought, how am I going to pay this back? It never even crossed my mind. We went down to the telephone company. We booked a week at Omega, and we booked our airfare, and we came back, and never once am I thinking, how am I going to pay for this? I was in such a deep connection with Spirit. And so about a week later, a couple showed up on my doorstep from France. Now, I lived out in the country. It was not easy to find my place. And they came and they said, we love your art. We want you to design color note cards for us. Now, I had done black and white, but I had never done color. And they said, we want you to do color cards. We don't need them to be ours. You can use them any way you like. And so I designed 4 beautiful color designed note cards for them. It paid, not only did it pay for our trip, but I was able to print 2,000 packages for myself because they didn't want exclusivity. And so that just showed up in the business because of my trust and because I was being guided through the whole experience. So that's one experience of how that showed up in my business.
And your employees and your other needs and everything all got handled as well.
Everything was handled.
Everything got handled, even that space. That was an extremely violent time in Haiti. So to be there with a family and have that kind of connection really speaks to the depth of time and attention that you must have spent on these practices.
Yes, I spent a great deal of time and attention on the practices. But you don't need to. You don't need to. It's a matter of raising your vibrational energy, and there are many ways that we can do this. This was before people even knew about the law of attraction. In fact, when the law of attraction became popular, I checked it out because, what is this? But truthfully, I had actually, stepped in above it with this, spiritual wealth activation system. And it was actually a step down to check out the law of attraction. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because when The Secret came out and brought all of that personal development work and energetic work and everything mainstream, that was really the gift of that, bringing it mainstream. I know that there are many tens of thousands of people who had been in this inquiry, in these practices, doing this very deep work for years. It's just now you can walk into somewhere and talk about, manifesting or creating possibility or whatever without people looking at you like you've lost your mind.
Exactly.
Which is nice.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. Speaking for myself, it's very nice. Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, then, what do you tell us a little bit more about what you have coming up next for yourself? Because I know you have some big things on the horizon.
Right. I'm launching a podcast called Having It All, and look for that in the very near future. And then beyond that is a TV show also called Having It All. And it's basically about a lifestyle for the conscious people, the rich and conscious.
The rich and conscious, instead of the rich and famous, yes.
Yes. And so that's new and that's upcoming. And also I have a project which is very near and dear to my heart, about Haiti. I'm creating the Haiti Housing Project. We're beginning with a pilot project to build a home for a family in Haiti. And from there, we're going to build a community, and which I'm very excited about, because it's much more than providing shelter for people who still have none after 5.5 years after the earthquake. Even though $10 billion in aid went to Haiti, it never reached the people. I mean, it's just,
I was reading about this in preparation for our interview today. I was horrified because there was so much attention that went to Haiti after that enormous disaster. So much money was raised. And it turns out that very, very little, almost none of it actually, the infrastructure did not get created again. Everything is still devastated.
It's still devastated. I just saw my friend of mine, my partner in Haiti, sent me an article, and it was 100 houses in 100 days. People raised $600,000 that would go directly to rebuild a community of 600 houses. Of 100 houses at $6,000 a house.
Okay.
I believe we can do it for under $5,000, and we're still working on the prototype. I've sent the proposal in, and I'm very excited about this because we want to go beyond shelter, but we also want to have a special criteria for people that they will participate in a literacy program. They'll learn to read and write, and in addition, they'll learn business skills. So, and then I want to add a seed funding aspect to this as well, so that they have a foot up, so a leg up, so to speak, and then they will pay it forward. They will not need to repay us, but they will pay it forward and help the next person. I know.
That is a really lovely business model. Where can people learn more about that project?
That is at HaitiHousingProject.org. HaitiHousingProject.org. And remember, everyone, if you're listening to this, you can also find the links on our notes pages at thestartsomethingshow.com, along with, of course, being able to connect with Marbeth and her project. And I'm so glad you put this together, Marbeth, having known the lay of the land and what people have gone through firsthand, living for 17 years in Haiti. And you're working with Haitians right now on this project because they're telling you exactly what's needed, and they have the know-how to actually be able to get it done beyond getting caught up in bureaucracy, which we don't want to do. We don't want to do. I want to work with locals and local materials. I don't want anything going through the customs where it can be held up for months and charged enormous fees. We want to work with locals. My partner in Haiti has founded the Foundation for the Children of Haiti. She's built orphanages, she's built schools, she's even built one of the best hospitals in Port-au-Prince. And she's currently building a technical school in the area in Payant, the area where we are going to have our community. So she knows how to get things done. And there will be oversight so that the money will go directly to this project. There will be no pilfering. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh man. Yeah, this is definitely much, much needed. I've seen some recent pictures and footage from the country, and seen some interviews with folks who are Haitian, who are, living in this, saying,
Nope, didn't get done. Didn't get done. And here we are in the U.S. thinking that we've done our part, and it got diverted.
Well, the 10 billion was diverted, but also I for one, I gave money to the Red Cross at the time, and other agencies that I trusted. And I believe the other agencies, I trust them, but the Red Cross, they had $500 million earmarked for rebuilding Haiti. They built 6 houses, only 6 houses. How is that even possible? It's just so shocking.
It's hard to imagine. So I think this is a phenomenal example of, taking the bull by the horns and being unstoppable with it, Marbeth, which is something I know you are.
Well, yes. Yeah. It took the outrage from finding out that, yes, this didn't happen to, but it's the phoenix rising from the ashes. We can build something, but we need to do it ourselves. If not me, who? And so I've said, yeah, I can build a house for $5,000. Why not? And if I can build one house, why not band together and raise money and build a community? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's definitely do it. That's perfect. So, guys, if you are inspired to find out more about this project, and I certainly hope you are, because it's extremely worthwhile, make sure you check out the show notes at thestartsomethingshow.com, along with the other links back to Marbeth and her fabulous work. Marbeth is going to be joining us on the Backstage Pass to talk more about wealth activation and activating it for yourself, actually practicing this, bringing this idea, this concept into reality, making it practical for yourself so that, we all have money stuff. We all have money stuff we have to deal with as we grow. And guess what? The more you grow, the more stuff comes up. So you got to get really effective in dealing with that. And so we're going to talk about that some more on the Backstage Pass. Marbeth, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, this has been delightful, Tina. I'm so happy that you invited me.
Oh, me too. Anytime, my dear. And looking forward to chatting with you some more on the Backstage Pass. Super Starters, we will see you next week on the Start Something Show.
Start something with purpose. Start something with freedom. Start something now. Go to thestartsomethingshow.com, join our community of superstarters, and get your perfect day planner pack, a free resource to help you create the life you've dreamed of living. Take action now, and we'll see you for our next exciting episode.